in my room. I'm not in my car today. Satisfied? I got a bunch of stupid people in some YouTube group saying, "Oh, you do car vlogs. Oh, you're a filmmaker. Oh, you're a filmmaker, but you just do videos in your car. A real filmmaker wouldn't do that." I don't know if you guys feel this, if you are artists yourselves, that people expect you to be creative and being an artist every minute of your life. Like, you're not allowed to take breaks from it. If you do something that is like informal or uncreative once, they somehow question your ability as a creative. Have you ever seen that? Like, literally, it could be something as simple as, "Oh, I'm making a peanut butter sandwich." Why are you putting peanut butter on your bread? Because I like peanut butter, and it's something that usually goes with bread. Usual? I thought you were all about being out of the box and creative. Ooh, that's not very creative of you, is it? You know, I don't know if you're really an artist because you're not being very creative right now. So this video is gonna be talking about some of the more negative aspects of my school experience. And I didn't have a lot of negative experiences there, and I said it in other videos, in the other two parts of this video, that I was largely happy with the time that I spent in film school, but you win some, you lose some. And this video is going to talk about the time where I don't feel like I lost anything, but there were a couple times when I was a little less than thrilled at what was going on. I had this one professor, I'd had her twice. I get the sense she was a nice person. But like most professors these days, unfortunately, she really went out of her way to infuse her lectures with her political agenda. Now, I don't mind that at all. You know, that's why you go to college. You go so you can be exposed to different ideas, you know. Unlike a lot of people in my generation, I believe that that's healthy. Yay! No snowflakes here! Yay! I certainly don't mind hearing about professors' political ideologies, and I don't even mind when their ideologies are flawed, because, hey, you know, who's is completely perfect? What I do take issue with, though, is professors saying something that is not 100% right politically, and then acting like their argument has no flaws, you know? I just get a little bit annoyed when they say something that has to do with their agenda and they act like you have to take it as gospel, and if you disagree, you must be scum of the earth. And for this video, I'm gonna tell one specific story. I went to a university where most of the people there, professors and students included, were extremely liberal. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not insulting liberals at all. I am a liberal. I'm blue, ba-ba-dee da-ba-die, da-ba-dee da-ba-die, da-ba-dee da-ba-die. That was a nice little throwback to 5th grade, like 2007-ish. No disrespect to my fellow blue folks. It's just that there's a subset of you that is, to put it politely, completely off your rockers. You! What are you doing with that razor? I'm shaving with it. Because I'm Middle Eastern. And I need to. Twice a day. What? You are a slave to the patriarchy! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm gonna OD! Oh! This is Senecott. I'd hate to overdose on this. Moving on. I felt like John Oliver when I did that. Moving on. And now, this. So, in this class, it was a TV theory and criticism class, and we had to pick a TV show and talk about why it was an important show. This one girl in her class picked Aziz Ansari's Master of None. Now, I apologize for bringing him up. This was literally maybe a few weeks before the allegations surrounding him came to light. So this girl picked Master of None because she felt it was an important show due to the fact that it shows Dev, which is the main character who's played by Ansari himself, as being a first-generation Indian-American young man who is shown having normal, everyday experiences that have nothing to do with this culture. And the same goes for his parents. Like, they're Indian American immigrants, and they're into, I think the dad's into computer games or something, or they're into sports, and Dev himself is shown dating people outside his culture and eating foods that might not necessarily, that are not really a part of his culture at all. So he's just shown being, you know, like you and me, which is what he is, right? Well, my professor didn't like that too much, and she had reacted to it with, you know, I don't understand why whenever a white person makes a show, it's allowed to just be, but whenever it's a person of color, it has to be relatable. And as soon as those words escaped her mouth, I was like, are you for real? Are you Amish? Seriously, are you Amish? Because that is the only excuse I can think of for why you have not watched or paid attention to trends in TV and film for the past decade. Show me one TV show or film, or even if we're going beyond media, even books that show people from immigrant backgrounds or minority backgrounds being shown having normal everyday experiences that don't revolve around their culture 24/7. More often than not, when I see work that features characters that are members of these demographics, I see a lot of hacky stereotypes being recycled over and over again. I see them being put in the same tropes. And when we see so many stereotypes in the media, I believe that's harmful, because that's when a lot of misconceptions start to come from. Sometimes I'll talk to people who don't have much experience with my culture, or other cultures are different from theirs, and they'll have all these preconceived notions about, for example, how Middle Eastern people are supposed to be, you know, what their parents believe, you know, do your parents mind that you're dating outside of your race, your culture? Do your parents not want you to be certain things when you grow up because of your sex? Do they wake up thinking about genocide and go to bed thinking about genocide? Blah, blah, blah. And one girl was like, yeah, it's almost like Ansari is just making an effort to say, hey, look at me, I'm different. And that didn't sit well with me either, because I was thinking to myself, no, absolutely not. Ansari is not actively trying to thumb his nose at other programs that feature minority characters. He's not trying to set a big trend or anything. He's just showing his life as it has been, right? First generation American who has a lot of the same interests and thoughts and feelings that you and I do, who has normal everyday experiences like any other American. The parts I've seen of that show reflect things I've experienced in my life as a first generation American. Their prejudice ended up being exposed when they acted like, oh, you know, this guy, he can't possibly have any normal experiences. And it's funny, I think I see this issue not just in school, but with the Liberal Party in general. They mean well, and they want to imagine a world where there are more similarities between us than differences. But the truth is they can't fathom such a thing. Did I say anything about it in class? No. Heck no. Because this is another complaint I had. This professor created a space where I did not feel safe to dissent. Now, I just want to make something very clear. I love my school very much. Again, as I had said in the beginning, I just want to drive that point home. And I don't mean this to disparage anybody, but I just felt like I can't just talk only about the positives and not the negatives. That's pretty much all I wanted to rant about today. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Please donate to the Indiegogo for my television show, 1 + 1 = 2. I had a couple more donations pour in. Thank you to those who donated. And I hope to see you again.